Alright, what's up, folks? So let's get comfy, and I want to kind of check up on all of you all, seeing that I think the whole lockdown thing, is it getting you down? Have you found a new skill? Have you improved on your have you improved and developed some new skill that you didn't know you have? Or it's just like you're just waiting for the whole payouts to come out, and I mean, recently in Singapore we got our own payout as well, and yeah, people are spending, they're buying items, they're getting themselves happy, and I think that is a very important thing, right? To be happy. So I think the most important thing is, why are people buying things all the time? I think it's more of the mindset, right? Like, everybody loves being a consumer, okay? And I personally love being a consumer. It's always very enjoyable. Like, I mean, not recently. I mean, I've been playing a little bit of the Nintendo Switch for quite a while, and in fact, the Nintendo Switch has kind of, well, at least a couple of games that I really like. Like right now, I'm playing Link's Awakening. I have been a fan of Nintendo games for a very, very long time. Like, basically, it's nostalgia for me, right? I used to play Mario, Contra, and of course, The Legend of Zelda. So that whole series got me really excited. And recently, which will be arriving today, will be Animal Crossing, which is something that I feel will be very educational for my daughters, right? Since they are at home. And by the way, if you're wondering why I haven't been making any videos, because we are all on a so-called circuit breaker or a lockdown ourselves, and in a way the schools are closed, so I have to be like daddy daycare, and everything is all homeschool at the moment. And Animal Crossing was a game that I kind of came across, and I noticed that, hey, it really teaches you quite a bit of things, especially if you're a kid, of course. But I find the whole game very entertaining. I think it's very easy to do. And I hope that it will entertain my daughters. So yeah, guys. So anyway, that's a little bit about myself and what's been happening. But I think that right now, just on a more serious note, the economy is obviously it's not gonna be too good in the next 18 months, or even longer, and the repercussions will be there. Okay, so let's get a little bit serious before we kind of talk about the more lighthearted stuff. So right now, what I noticed is that China has opened up. Since China has reopened, in certain parts, right? I think most of China is starting to reopen, and on the first day of the reopening, Hermes did 2.7 million in sales. So it's actually very surprising that that upper echelon of people are still spending money. So what happens to the rest of the folks, right? I would kind of say that the most folks are actually now struggling or jobless. So they are finding their way around, right? And I think finding your way around is very, very important. Okay, so let's just say, during this time you are temporarily jobless, right? So what do? I think the most important thing is to figure out what's your secondary skill set. I think to me, everybody has a talent. Everybody can do something else other than what they think that they are capable of doing. Because you see, when you were studying, and then after that you graduated from school, you went to work. Overall, I think everyone kind of forgot that they had a certain passion. So that passion actually was set aside because sometimes it doesn't make you as much money as compared to maybe if you were a developer, or maybe if you were someone who was doing law, or maybe you prefer to do something professional, something a white collar job. But then during this time, suddenly all these jobs, right, are no longer relevant, or at least for the time being, you were temporarily let go of, right? And you suddenly become very lost, and you forgot Like you feel the anxiety, the fear, and you wonder, oh no, what am I gonna do now? I'm already so and so age, whether you're in your 30s, whether in your 40s, your 50s, or whatever, right? And suddenly you're just lost. Like, what am I gonna do now? So, what I've been realizing is that if I was in that exact same situation, right, and I kind of put myself in that situation voluntarily. This was 6 years ago. I put myself in that situation voluntarily, right? Because I wanted to work from home. I wanted to challenge myself. Could I make money without an employer? Okay? And that was my challenge, like just wondering whether I could do it by myself, just that curiosity. So I did everything, right? In a sense that, okay, what was I passionate about? So I think the most important thing is, firstly, you have to be passionate about something, right? Whether is it art, cooking, whether you are into fitness, whether you're into health. I think the key thing is, as long as you're value adding to somebody, eventually things will start, taking shape. So I was very interested in fitness at the time, right? And I decided, okay, maybe just be a personal trainer. And that was what I did. I literally took my license, and after that, after getting that license, being able to do perform CPR on people, that was the main license that you have to get. Then I took up my certification and license to be a personal trainer, and I started, promoting myself on Facebook, getting a few clients up and running, and yeah, that was my so-called first self-employed job, and I was doing that for self-employment role or small little business that I did after I quit banking, right? But I did that for about 1.5 years, and I realized that it wasn't really scalable because I was just by myself. So the next thing was, okay, would I want to continue on this path, being a personal trainer, which was fine as well, or I would probably want to get some skill and maybe be part of a gym, and then from then it will allow me to get more traffic. Would I be wanting to promote myself on YouTube? What would I be doing? So I kind of deviated. So I stopped that whole thing. So in a way, I was jobless again, right? I didn't have an idea. So I went into identifying, because I didn't know how to market myself online. There was zero experience, guys. This is completely from ground zero, scratch. I was, let me see. I was probably 30 years old at the time. Okay, I was 30 years old at the time, or was it 32? Anyway, around there, okay? So I had zero skills. There was no video making skills. There was no understanding about how to do live streaming or whatever. Zero, okay? Then I told myself, okay, if I am interested in online marketing, I should be watching more videos on how to market yourself online. So hence, I started stumbling upon people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Ryan Serhant, Dan Lok. Dan Lok's from Canada, Ryan Serhant and Gary Vaynerchuk are from New York City, Los Angeles, Casey Neistat. So all these content creators, right, were very big inspirations and kind of gave me that edge, or at least that motivation, right? So this is the idea, and people are always selling. Exactly, that's right. People are always selling stuff. So when I told myself, okay, if you are someone who is at a place where you're thinking, okay, could I do something else, right? Try to get your inspiration from the passion that something that you're most passionate about, right? And just move in that direction. Gradually, you'll kind of find out what you want to do. Now, can I say that everybody wants to make videos? Everybody should start making videos? No, I'm not saying that. But I think it's more of your own personal self-discovery. This is the process where, and right now, since that everywhere is practically on lockdown, circuit breaker, or whatever term that we want to call it, you have a lot of time to develop those skills that you have kind of put aside. I wouldn't say you lost it, but you kind of put it aside because you were focusing on your professional career. Now, the good thing about this whole thing, which I find is a blessing as well, is that if you discover this new or refueled passion, right, you may actually build this into a business, and suddenly you sparked a new business just like I did. So that's the whole idea, right? And the whole emphasis of this video is like to kind of get you to understand that once you discover that product, right, and that product could be just you, right, or your talent, and you develop something, people who enjoy it, who feel that they can get value out of it, will be buying, guys. So that's the whole idea. And I think it's very important that you realize that even though your situation may not look as good at the moment, but other people's situation could actually be like, they are not really affected by this whole thing, and you'd be surprised. And that was what I was monitoring as well. So I was looking at the whole chat groups, various chat groups that I'm in, right? And I noticed that people are always buying stuff. They're always buying stuff, guys. Like, we're talking about, okay, whether the transactions are genuine or not, I would say that a majority are, okay? And people enjoy, like, for example, I'm in the Magic the Gathering community, and I've been noticing, oh, okay, there are people obviously buying altered cards, people buying old cards, right? Moving a lot of vintage products back and forth. Which goes to show, right, that yes, the market is soft, very, very soft, but there are always people buying as long as it comes down to the right price. As long as there's the right price, yeah, the card just gets snapped up in less than 15 minutes. Okay, you have people doing Dutch auctions, people just putting out their product, and it's gone. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually very healthy. It just goes to show that once you manage to find your niche, right, you are able to sell, and once you're able to sell, people will be buying. Simple as that. So right now, I would say that the crypto market is very soft. You can see that the volumes have tapered off. It is not the major interest of most people, and everyone's focusing on maybe staking or some kind of passive income. And I think the stock markets are presenting themselves with great dividend income opportunities, but the stock markets, right, have quite a way to go down. At least my personal opinion, they have quite a bit of room to drop before it actually tapers off. So like I said in my previous videos, I'm looking at the markets for another 6 to 9 months. And what's most funny is that I saw some circulars going around that people are saying that the bear market is over. That is the ultimate joke. That is really the ultimate joke. In the past, SARS, H1N1, I never once remembered that airlines were shut down. Okay, I never once remembered airlines were shut down, restaurants were shut down, and schools were totally shut down. I do not recall that because at the time, right, I was obviously still schooling. I didn't remember our government telling us that we had to shut down for a month. There was no such thing. This time around, schools are shut down, majority of businesses are shut down, cinemas are down, entertainment places are down. These are all heavily leveraged companies, right, that require to be open practically every day, Monday to Sunday, and they are forced to shut down. And you're telling me that the bear market is over? Like, seriously? So that is why, guys, mainstream media has come to the point where they just feed people, right, this kind of information. But obviously, there are great content creators out there, right, who are putting out content, like putting out the truth. And yeah, I must say that content is really the new media or a new product that people will buy. This is something that I must emphasize, because especially if you're starting out. So guys, even though the video states that people are always buying, I'm not literally asking you to buy anything, but I'm asking you to kind of find something so that you can sell to people, right? And the best way to sell to people is making content. And sometimes it's just a picture, right? If you have an Instagram account, put it up on your Instagram account. If you're someone who loves using Facebook Live, which I don't, but yes, there are people who do Facebook Live, they should be, putting up Facebook Live videos, right? Because maybe it's for their friends and family at the beginning, right? Maybe they're just great cooks, so they want to show people how to cook stuff with simple ingredients that you can get from your local grocery stores. Yeah, stuff like that. Just put up some kind of content, and you'd be surprised, guys, that a lot of magical things happen, right? That's the whole idea. So yeah, when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, like the moment I kind of like had the whole shutdown thing, right? Schools were immediately implementing going using, of course, home-based learning, Zoom, and we all know what happened with the hack, right? There was a session, I think in Singapore, where a hacker kind of got in, and then he was like asking the girls to do lewd things, and he was being lewd himself. So yeah, I mean, but Zoom stocks have actually recovered ever since then because they fixed the privacy issue, and almost immediately, right, installed or implemented a security feature. Well, only time will tell if all these things hold. But nonetheless, people are always buying. So I think, do you have a passion or a skill that people like? Do you feel that you can be of value to more people? Well, if you do, then obviously you gotta start cranking up, start a YouTube channel, start anything, guys. Just make it fun. As long as you can make it fun. I mean, look, if I can, create a channel, and my channel, I must say, is more edutainment, not so much of entertainment. But if I can bravely start a channel and, there are like, 10 people watching, why not? It's all about what you feel is of value to people. So this is kind of like my few cents worth. It's not going to be a very long video, but thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next live stream.